The history of lighthouses goes back to the distant past and goes hand in hand with the history of sea voyages. Lighthouses are not only signal towers. Sailors saw in them a friend's kind eye, light wafting from the windows of their homes and reminding them of homecoming, giving them hope that the endless voyage would soon be over, a feeling that danger was already past. The most powerful lighthouse in Europe as an English gentleman's club. Although France was behind the rest of Europe regarding construction of lighthouses, at present its seashore belongs to the best lit and monitored ones of the whole continent. During a construction wave in the late 19th century, the French adopted a strategy of building a line of towers so that ships could pick up a signal from the following lighthouse at the time the first one disappeared from their sight. Along the French coast, thousands of towers are situated. 120 of them are located on the Breton peninsula of Finestre, the first piece of land that can be spotted by a ship sailing from America. In the northwestern point of the Ouessant Island is the most powerful lighthouse in Europe. It is also the most important for sea transport because of its strategic position between the English Channel and the Atlantic. It stands on the rock that towers over the ocean and is called Creach, which means rise in Breton, or also the Ouessant Lighthouse. The imposing 55-metre high tower was built in 1863 to protect ships sailing in this locality. The volume of local traffic was constantly growing due to the development of overseas colonies. There was already an older lighthouse, Le Stif, on the island, built in 1695. But it was a mere 32 metres high, was lit only in winter, and its light wasn't powerful enough, so that it failed to protect ships from being wrecked on the jagged coast. The height where the Creach lighthouse is located lies in front of a passage full of dangerous razor-sharp rocks. Ocean waves strike them with huge power. It's estimated that at least 30,000 ships sailed close by the Ouessant Island from the beginning of the 20th century. The island is often shrouded by fog, and it is exactly this fog which is the major cause of accidents in this area. The Creach lighthouse has a cylindrical tower with black and white stripes and an iron lamp at the top. Its base is surrounded by a semicircle of buildings. The simple linear external appearance of the lighthouse is in heavy contrast to its interior. All the walls are wood-panelled, and the ceiling above a winding staircase is decorated with a windrose made also from multicoloured wood. It results in a luxurious and hearty atmosphere reminiscent of an English gentleman's club. The French sense of beauty found its way, in this case, even into the inside of the lighthouse. A building that we imagine, because of our stereotypes, as an embodiment of deprivation and plainness. In the course of the following 40 years, it was modernized in several phases. 3 optical systems were changed, and thanks to them the visibility of its light was doubled to 59 kilometers. In local weather conditions, audible fog signals are very important as well. In 1900, a modern horn was installed in the lighthouse. In 1912, it was replaced by a bell, and that was finally replaced by a vibrating system placed on the lighthouse terrace in 1985. Powerful Fresnel lenses in the light of the lighthouse are encircled with glass windows covered by a metal lattice that protects the light against raging elements. But let's return to the main function of our lighthouse. It used a xenon bulb having a lifespan of 5,000 hours for signalling. Later, xenon lamps were abandoned, and now the light is fitted with a halogen lamp with the power of 2 kilowatts. The halogen lamp is always tested thoroughly before it is fitted. The Creach lighthouse emits 2 white flashes every 10 seconds. At present, however, it also serves more than navigational purposes. The control room has not been used for the original purpose for years. Now it is in the possession of the army and serves as a residence for artists, first of all of French writers. And in 1998, the original power station at the foot of the lighthouse was changed to a museum of lighthouses and signalling devices. Visitors can acquaint themselves in detail with the history and development of lighthouses and other signalling devices. The museum boasts the largest collection of Fresnel lenses in the whole of Europe, and we can even find lenses from Le Cordouan Lighthouse here. In a relatively small area in the neighbourhood of Ouessant, there is a large group of lighthouses. The Stih, Nividic, Le Jument, Carillon and Pierre Noir. Those and even some other rather more distant lighthouses are controlled and monitored just from the Creach lighthouse. The majestic Creach Lighthouse, the lighthouse that reminds us of the distant and famous history of sea voyages, but is also an important place for organizing sea transport in the Atlantic today.